Hey, it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel. I am excited to share with you a fun DIY. I love DIYs. They always excite me, but there are very few that excite me like this one. It is a huge project. It took forever, and most of it wasn't necessarily effort, but it was like a mind game of forever because it took so long for this to dry. But it was definitely worth the effort, and I cannot wait to share with you how I made fake stained glass and where it's hanging up in my house. So today's project is super exciting to me because this is something that I bought when I did my birthday road trip to an antique and flea market. I went all by myself. I spent as long as I wanted to there. So it was a ton of fun for me to just peruse and really take my time, and I've actually been on the lookout for a stained glass window to put in my bay window in the living room for a long time. I have wanted to do that because the sun rises in the east and the window faces the east, so the sun rises and we get so much sunlight in the back of our house that I thought it would be a ton of beautiful light to come through a stained glass window. However, anytime I find a stained glass window that I like, it is significantly more than I'm willing or able to spend. And at the Allegan Antique Fair, I found that to still be the case. So I found one that I really loved, but it was $225, and the gentleman said he was willing to sell it to me for $200. And while I don't doubt that it was worth it, it was still more than I wanted to pay. So when I found this beauty at the same antique fair, it was missing a single pane of glass, but I loved the lattice design, and it was in desperate need of a quick paint job. I didn't do too much to it because I wanted to keep the vintage vibe, and it has a very natural chippy look to it, but I didn't want as much dirt and grime that was on there, and I wanted to cover some of the chips. So I gave the front a very quick chalk paint coat, and then I took a razor blade and cleaned the glass really well, and I again cleaned both sides of the glass because I was going to be painting on it. But this was only $40 at the antique fair. And when you consider my supplies were roughly $10 to $15, that makes this a $50 project, up to $60 compared to the $225. That is a significant savings, and I get so much satisfaction from DIYs, and I really love to be able to customize it. And while his piece was beautiful, I will pop a picture in here. It was not my design or my project. So now that I have it kind of gussied up a little bit, I am going through and cleaning all of the shavings of the paint that got on the glass, and I had to take some time and really think about the design and the colors that I wanted. And you'll see as I go about this that my first attempt was not my final attempt, and I just play around with it. I really give myself grace. And this is a video that I wanted to post the last 2 weeks, but because of the issues or the simple me changing my mind, which is a frequent thing, it took me a little longer to produce the final output and make this video. So I think it was definitely worth the project in the end. But now we're getting to the fun part. So I filled this little bowl with clear glue. This is cheap, clear craft glue. I think that bottle was about $3 at Walmart, and I just filled it up. I didn't measure. I found a lot of tutorials, and some of them said you added a couple drops of acrylic paint to 2 tablespoons of glue, but I wasn't that precise. And like I said, I saw many different tutorials that gave you different directions. So I just started with one, and I wanted to make sure yellow was in this because I don't love the color yellow, but I love sunshine, and I feel like I wanted this to be a bright, sunny piece, so I knew that yellow had to be a part of it. So this is as simple as it sounded. You mix clear glue with acrylic paint, and you can see we are taking toothpicks and popping bubbles that arise because we didn't want the bubbles to show once they were dried. And I'm just going to spoil some end result. My final product did end up having bubbles on it because I didn't realize bubbles can settle in the drying process, so I should have been more vigilant in looking at my final piece as it was drying, which I didn't do. I do want to point out that some of these window panes look dirty. I did not clean the underside as well as I did the back, so I made sure my glass was like crystal clear on the side that I was painting on because it's very important if you want your paint to stick. And I just continued with this yellow. I had previously mapped out what my design was going to be. I wanted lots of color, but I also wanted it to make sense and to be a pattern. I am much more of a pattern person than a random, because I just feel like I can't make a random that makes sense. I am much more of a symmetrical patterned thinker. Even though I'm a fly by the seat of your pants type person and I'm not a perfectionist, I do really like pattern and rhythm. And I feel like those two things really don't go together, but I'm curious if you're more of an abstract, go with the flow type person, or would you want to make this a pattern as well? So my next color was green, and I knew as soon as I poured this that I hated the green that I had. So I was trying to use all acrylic paints that I had on hand, but that looked, really it looked like the peas that I used to make my infants when they were just starting to eat, and I really, really hated the green. And as soon as I started making this turquoise color, I knew that I hated the green even more because I love this turquoise so much, and that green just looked muted and, like I said, pea-ish next to the turquoise. So I just was not in love like I was in love with this paint. It took me a while to realize, but once I did, it was an aha moment, so I'm sharing it with you as a tip if you go ahead and make one of these yourself. You can see that the turquoise has a pearlized effect to it, and it's shiny and it has like a shimmer to it. The turquoise and my next color that's like a cobalt blue, both are pearly and have a shimmer built in. I highly, highly recommend that you get one of those colors for an acrylic bottle. Get the pearlized or a metallic or a shimmer. They're called kind of different things, but that totally made a difference. So even though I kept going with this project and I was kind of hoping that once it dried I would like it a little more, I was not digging my yellow and my green. I still liked my pattern placement, but once I had the blue and the turquoise down, I thought, man, I want more of those pearlized colors, and I really, really loved the blue and the turquoise. You can see I kind of went a little sloppy with the blue and I had a mess to clean up, but I took care of that, and it's another time that I was grateful I'm not a perfectionist, because I thought, oh, well, the little blue and the yellow is not the biggest deal in the world, so I cleaned it up as best as I could, and you can't even tell now, but on the back you can. But I wasn't very concerned with the back. So that got all situated and taken care of, and I moved on. I started mixing a little purple because, like I mentioned, I hated the yellow, I hated the green. So I decided to add a little bit of purple into the yellow and swirl it. This technique that I'm using is a toothpick, and it's like when you drop the white cake mix into a brownie batter and you kind of swirl it. That's what I did with purple into my yellow, just to kind of give it some dimension and depth. And I actually did end up really liking the dried result. It looked orangey because you can see once it started drying, the purple and the yellow melted together. But this is a week after I painted all of my colors. I hated that green still, so I went and I peeled it all off. And that's one of the cool things, is this was such an inexpensive project, and it's not hard to undo your work because glue can just be sliced down the middle and repainted. So right off the bat, I knew that I needed to go get 2 new pearlized colors because the old green was awful. And doesn't this look so much better as soon as it's laid out? Like, you can just see a total difference. And then I took half of my yellows off because I wanted to add real purple back into this project. Once I got the purple into the yellow, I wanted more of it. So I also bought a pearlized purple. Both of these were 30% off at Hobby Lobby with a $2.99 price tag. So both of them were less than $5 when I bought them total, and definitely worth the investment. And now I have 2 new acrylic paints in my arsenal for future projects. But this is what it looked like, and it had to dry an entire week before we hung it up. And that was the longest week of wait ever because I just wanted it done. So these are going into the window itself, and these are going into the wall, and it will hang right on the hook. You won't get to see my carpenter doing work because he's secret, but you'll see it hung up. So my handy hubby got to work, and he added those 2 pieces that we got at Menards, by the way, into the window frame itself, and then he added the hooks onto the frame of the house window. I know that's kind of confusing because there's 2 windows that I'm speaking about, but I love this so much, you guys. It is beautiful. It looks like stained glass, and yes, if you look up close you can tell that it is not a true stained glass, but the effect is beautiful. It makes me very happy when I'm sitting there in the bay window eating my breakfast, drinking my coffee, working on YouTube videos, whatever I'm doing over there. I love this new window, and I hope you do too. Okay, so this is an up close view. It is about 6 p.m. so it's not high sun in the back, which is the easiest for me to film with this up here. But you can see we're looking at the cobalt blue color. This thin layer up here came through very nicely, and you can see that turquoise. I love the color, but it is marbled, kind of weird, and that was put on quite thick. The pink was quite thick, and then you can see a difference between that blue and this blue, and the only difference is the amount of glue that was put on between them. And I found that I really like this one more. It has much more of a glass feel in the back when it's dried, and this one feels more like a slime. I also, I popped all of my bubbles when it was drying originally, but in the dry time more bubbles came to the surface and I didn't notice them until it was too late. So while I love this project, I am probably going to peel most of these and do the same thing again. Just be very mindful of my bubbles, number one, and number two, make sure that I get a very thin coverage, which should help drying time instead of the thick one. So stepping back, the lighting is not good for anything else, but you can just see the difference. Same window, same light. I really prefer the look of the top one. So I'm gonna go through and redo my stuff, but it'll have the same look. Same supplies, the same colors, same everything. I just need to, lesson learned, apply a thin coat versus a thick coat and watch for bubbles as it dries, which really should, that problem should be eliminated mainly from the thinner coats. So let me know if you enjoyed that video, if you like this project, and I would totally love to know if you end up making a stained glass window yourself.